Merry Christmas, Missoula Podcast. Brando,
Hey, Merry Christmas, man.
it's good to reflect with you.
Yeah. How was your day yesterday?
It was really good.
Good.
Busy season, and it was really nice to just hang out with the family and not have anything scheduled. There was no traveling, obviously. We're here in the studio. How about you?
Phenomenal. Just laid back, relaxed, just really calm. We did a great job this year with our Christmas shopping, taking care of it well in advance.
Nice.
So this last week, we didn't have that hectic rush. Just Christmas just showed up yesterday, and yeah, it was great. Very good. Great time with the kids.
And now we're getting ready for 2024. But before we do, what Brandon and I and Nick wanted to do for you, the listener, is just reflect and recap where we've been. And so many celebrations, so many awesome episodes. And it would be a disservice not to thank you for tuning in and engaging with us. We hear so frequently how many of you are listening and enjoying and hearing some of the stories here in our community.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Missoula. It's rare that a day goes by where I don't run into somebody at the gym or at my kid's school that says, hey, I listened to your episode with whoever. I mean, it could have been an episode from weeks ago. And just the constant encouragement, feedback. Yeah. One of the questions I like to ask people, Stephen, is what's been your favorite episode? Yeah. And I never get the same answer twice. Yeah. So the diversity of our guests, the stories, but one thing they all have in common is their love for Missoula, the community. And it's been an unbelievable ride. 2023 has been an awesome, launch for the Missoula Podcast, and we're so excited for the future.
One of the things that we do on the show that is the same on every episode is we ask our burning 5, rapid 7. We don't really know
where did that start? We just had questions, and did you name them? Did you start calling them rapid?
I must have, and then I've called it 7 different names since then, but that is the common thing. And so I thought it would be cool, Brandon, if we could just go through those questions and get some of the answers, the most common, the least common, etc.
That's honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the show, because I'm so curious as what our guests are going to say, what their favorite coffee shop is, favorite restaurant. And I love this. Nick, our producer's done a great job of keeping track of these through every episode for us. The question that I love the most, that is just, there's not a lot to the question, but what zip code do you live in? Mm-hmm. Like, I so desperately want to start this turf war. I want to see people representing their part of town in Missoula. And of our guests this year, 59801 leads the way.
The original,
the OGs, the guests that are right central Missoula are the most popular guests on our show, which means we need to increase the number of 59803 guests in the coming year.
Well, I think my zip code 59804 was on the low end.
It was. You were on the bottom.
Yeah. So I'm going to absolutely push for 59804s. We need to start,
when we look for guests, that needs to be the first question. What zip code do you live in? And that's how we determine whether or not they're a good fit for the show. Big shout out, 59803. You're my favorite. You always will be. Those of you up on the hill, you know who I'm talking to. I love you. Those of you down in the valley, hope you got coal in your stocking. But favorite coffee shop. I'm surprised that we have so many diverse answers on this question. There wasn't this is the coffee shop, but currently, and this coffee shop in the early episodes wasn't mentioned. It wasn't until 10, 15, 20 episodes in. What was it, Nick? How far were we?
I think Nate Truzzolino was the first one to mention this one.
Yeah, which he was, I don't even remember where he was, like episode 15. Truzzolino comes in and he said, Loose Caboose. And now Loose Caboose, 1 year into the Missoula Podcast, leads the way in Missoula's favorite coffee shop. No surprise, great coffee. I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't either. No. I think it was recency bias. Truzzolino has inspired people to start saying it.
Yep. And that was a great episode, Truzzolino.
Yeah.
He mops for a living. He's a janitor. And what a cool story of just how he's found his place in the community and has thrived. Another great question is favorite restaurant. This question had so much diversity. Montana Club is leading the way right now.
Okay.
How do you feel about Montana Club? I mean, and that menu is so thick. There's so many options.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong with Montana
Right.
Club.
You'll find what you're looking for at Montana Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have it. It's a novel when you open that thing. I get lost, so I just order the burger every time.
Yeah.
Cowboy burger.
So the restaurants that got multiple votes
Okay.
for best restaurant in Missoula was Montana Club,
Sure.
The Depot,
Not surprising.
Zootai.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
that's our favorite.
Yeah. I wish they were open Christmas Day. The Old Post,
Sure.
Dino Cafe,
Never been.
and 1889.
Yeah.
Everything else solid on this list. Sakatumi, Miller Creek Cafe, Canby, Lolo Steakhouse. The list goes on and on and
We
on.
have really good food here in Missoula.
Missoula has solid food.
Yeah.
Solid food. I would love to see Zootai open up a spot at Washington Grizz Stadium. Can you imagine watching a Grizz game with?
Man, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Wow.
Gangery beef. That's my go-to.
Is it?
Oh man,
I go chicken pad thai,
can't beat it either.
the 4 on the spice level.
It's pretty high.
Like just don't want my eyes burning, but I want my nose to kind of be dripping where you have to have a napkin.
Yeah.
It's solid. And then the one rapid fire question, what is the weirdest thing about Missoula and what do you love the most about Missoula? The answer is the same on every episode. It's the people.
the people.
The people of Missoula is
Yeah.
what makes us weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so fun asking those questions. Looking back, Spotify does this really cool thing, the Spotify Wrapped. And it gave us all these, Nick was sharing with me all these different stats on the podcast and listen rate and most downloaded episodes and number of true followers. And Nick, what was it? Who was the number one? What episode was number one, like most shared?
If we go most shared, we're going all the way back to episode 1 with
Really?
the Ben Weinman since the beginning. So
Ben Wyman.
Well, he is the face of Missoula.
So get this. I had never met Ben Wyman until the day he stepped foot in the studio. I now run into Ben Wyman and see him
He's everywhere.
multiple times a week.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't matter if I'm in a coffee shop, at a Grizz game, driving down Reserve Street, Ben Wyman is next to me.
We've had a lot of great guests. Ben is probably the nicest of the guests. He's just so nice.
And so well
What a good guy.
connected.
Yeah.
Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him.
Really awesome, dude.
Thank
you. That was such a wonderful first episode to get us off the ground.
All of our success is because of Ben Wyman.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Nick, how about what was the most listened to downloaded episode?
if we're going most listened to, we are going to something that's really big in Montana in the hunting community. We've got
Oh.
Casey Smith from Straight Six Archery.
Awesome.
Casey.
So he must have shot that out to all of the archers.
I don't know how he does it. Obviously, he shared his story with us and business and what they've been capable of doing. But do you remember sitting here in studio, how he started off telling us about his hunting story? Like I was on the edge of my seat. I wanted to get out of the studio, go grab a bow and go archery hunt. So motivated from that episode.
He definitely was one of the better storytellers that I've met. So just an awesome honor to have him on the show. We could have just got out of the way and let him tell hunting stories and probably would have had more listens.
Yeah. Nick, one more for you. What episode had the most just engagement, comments on Instagram, on our Facebook, on our social profiles?
We're going the one, the only Gabe from 406 AM crew.
Oh,
Whoa. Of course.
that might have been my wife's favorite episode.
Really?
Yeah. Which his story, I mean, he thought the United States was
New
New
York.
York.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So great. But just thankfulness, gratitude for the small things in life was
Yeah.
inspiring, motivating, challenging.
If you ever want to see something amazing, go out and watch Gabe play soccer. I don't even know how old Gabe is, but that guy is running past people 10, 15 years younger than him. He is just a phenomenal athlete. And, you know, obviously what you heard on the podcast, his genuinity. I don't know what that word is. He is a genuine guy, and he is just so grateful for life.
He's the real deal. Another guy who's so well connected. I was looking on our stats online, and we are not trending in Ghana. So, Gabe, if you could be sure to get these episodes over to your family, we would greatly appreciate it. But there are like 17 other countries we're trending in. I have no idea who's out there listening in Algeria or Taiwan. I think we know who's in Germany. I think that was Jennifer Keddy.
Sure.
Played professional volleyball over there.
I've got a theory. Maybe it's Jess McLaughlin on her world travels. Could be her recapping an episode. And
what an amazing episode.
Yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah, where she's like, scared for her life in the jungles of South Africa. And
during that episode, I simultaneously wanted to travel more and never travel again. Yeah. And she's just got an incredible story. What a life.
It was solid.
Well, I'm not sure we even should have had her on the show because she's in Missoula like one day every 4 years.
That is true. But no, as I look back, I mean, so many of the episodes from Troy Pizig, Maddie Small, Ryan Bradshaw. We even did an episode with all the Missoula mayor candidates. Just the sense of community in this town, the pride that the people have for Missoula is phenomenal.
Yeah. And we've said this before, and what Brandon and I are trying to do with this podcast, and Nick, is we really do want to get out of the way. There's not a lot of us talking or our opinions or our stories, and maybe sometime down the line there'll be time for that. But really our true purpose is to share in people's journey, to share in their struggles, to share in their successes. And one of the things a great mentor of mine said many years ago was, assume that the person you're talking to knows something that you don't. And that's something that I've really enjoyed about this show is we get to learn, and we assume that the people that come into this know something that we don't. And Brandon and I basically get every week an opportunity to sit at the feet of people that are doing amazing things. And what I've just been so humbled by is all that we've learned. And so many people have come up to me and said, I didn't know that person did this, or I didn't know the story behind rattlesnake cables, or the story behind like Jamie Rindall and Adult and Teen Challenge. Like there's so many cool and unique people in this town. And I'm hoping that you learn, the audience, what I'm learning is to slow down, to ask questions, and to learn. Because when we do that, you can get some amazing information. And so that really is our purpose here for the Missoula Podcast, to learn and to share. And you, the audience, have done such a good job. And it seems like we've tapped into something that's really, really genuine and people are enjoying. So again, thank you for that. And Brandon, you've done just a wonderful job. And Nick does so much work behind the scenes. And again, not about us, it's about our guests. But I do want to just share, these guys put in a lot of work to bring a quality podcast to you.
Well, thank you, Stephen. Each episode, like you said, is a learning opportunity, and walk away different because of the guest. And sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm just shocked with the depth of the questions you ask, the way you're able to pull things out of people, and just to listen, just to be the third wheel at the table and listen to the conversation between you and our guest. I am so excited for 2024 and some of the goals and dreams of the Missoula Podcast, and just the lineup of guests we have coming up. Like 2023 was incredible. 2024 is going to be amazing. I don't want to spoil anything, but in just the next couple of weeks, it's all household names. Some of the most prominent business owners in Missoula, some of the staples of our community are going to be on this. Former University of Montana Grizz athletes. You do not want to miss what's going to be happening on the Missoula Podcast in 2024. We're looking at being more involved in different community events, being present in the community, and not just being something on the sound waves that you download and listen to, but we want to be out and engage with you. We want to be a part of community. We want to make Missoula better, not just for ourselves or our family, but for the next generation.
Yeah.
I loved on one of the episodes coming up where the guy was talking about the open space, how much he loves the open space in Missoula, and how somebody years ago had the foresight to protect that for future generations to get out and hunt and fish and hike and run on the trails. And I know Steven and I and Nick, the part of the Missoula podcast is, hey, we've got 120,000 people in this valley. There's 120,000 incredible stories to be shared. And we want to continue to use this platform to lift others up and build just a strong sense of community. So it's been a blast. It's been an incredible journey. So grateful. Please, listeners, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, watching on YouTube. Every like, every engagement helps us build this platform to help your story get told to the masses. And I believe together we can build something special. So with that, thank you so much for an incredible 2023. To all of our guests, to all of our listeners, to those behind the scenes, from Eric Allen with our music, our sponsors, to Nick, our producer, from Steven and I, just want to wish you a happy new year. Here's to 2024. And again, you do not want to miss next Tuesday's episode. Episode 1 of 2024 is going to be one for the ages. So happy new year for Steven and Brandon and Nick. We wish you all the best.
Thanks, guys.